Hi, I'm Rob Lee, and we're going to do a really cheap guitar build, at least as cheap as I can do. And I'm going to try to use all the tools that I have in my basement, save maybe a couple that I'll have to buy. But anyways, been waiting for this Sologuitar kit for a couple of days now. And really it actually showed up here pretty quickly, coming out of Southern Ontario here in Canada. And we'll just open this thing up. I'm very excited. I ordered a kit off their website, and I believe it's Sologuitars.com, and I ordered one with a blemish to get a cheaper price, again, because I'm trying to do this as cheap as I possibly can. So, here's what we have. Oh, we've got a nice little percentage off card and something that says stop. Okay, before doing any work, go to their website, see how everything's put together, which I tell you, I started out with this thing watching every video I could get my hands on and learning how to do dyeing, staining guitars and how to put them together and how to do carving and stuff like that. So it's very exciting. So it comes with a pack of all the parts that you need. There's the bridge and tremolo in there, a cord, tuners. Again, this is all low-end stuff, so I'm going to try to upgrade later, hopefully put some better parts into it, but again, trying to keep the cost down as low as I can go. So let's see what this body looks like. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty much what you would expect from a kit guitar. It's rough. It needs to be all sanded and prepped. I'm going to do some things with the body, hoping to make it semi-acoustic. And my brother has a little sawmill, so we're going to go out there and try to get some top wood for it that I can inlay. So this should be a lot of fun. You can see the back there too, where the tremolo comes through, and you hook that up. And then they also sand the neck with it. Now, this is the part that I'm most concerned about because I am not a guitar maker and actually not much of a player either, as you see when we get this thing together. But there it is. That's pretty nice. They've got a coating on it, so it has to be sanded off, but it's very nice and smooth. We'll check out the frets. The nut looks good, and of course it's ready to go. It's ready to put on the guitar. So I'm really happy. So that's the kit from Sologuitars, and we'll go from here, and I'll give you more views of the build that I'm going to do. Okay, so this time around, I made a little trip out to my brother's sawmill. He has one of those, like a Wood-Mizer type sawmill, and it works really well. We cut a whole bunch of wood up, and if you look down here, this is what I brought back. This is a burl from the side of a tree, and we cut it open, and you can see some really nice grain in there, although a little bit of rot in places, and of course a hole in that one. The piece that I took out to use was right in the middle here, and what I've done is cut off all the tapered sides to make it square, filled in the hole with some epoxy and some little bit of walnut stain and a little bit of sawdust. So I mixed that all together to make a plug for that hole, again trying to keep it as cheap as possible. Man, I went online and priced the epoxy resin, the pourable stuff, and it's really expensive. And also what I've done to the guitar is I've cut off the horns a little bit. You can see that here. My jigsaw wasn't cutting too good, but I'll fix that all up. If you look up online for Fender Toronado, that's more of the shape that I was going for. And then since this piece of wood was 1/2 inch thick, I routed out 1/2 inch and was able to place this in here. And it's quite tight. Let me just see if I can get it in here again. There we go. So we've routed it out. I've left 1/2 inch, and I'll do some grinding and shaping to get the guitar the way I want it, and we'll come back and show you more. Okay, so here we are back again. You can see the headstock that I did a different cut on, and then went with the black color scheme and did up some stickers on my inkjet printer. Now, Captain Crunch has kind of a soft spot in my heart. My brother-in-law, who passed away, had Captain Crunch tattooed on his arm. Captain Crunch, if you're a Maple Leafs fan, you'll recognize that as the name of Wendell Clark. And of course, Captain Crunch harkens to crunchy rock and roll music and a neat song by the Newsboys called Breakfast. So that's why I did that. And that's all I did with the neck. I left it the way it came from Sologuitars. It was smooth enough for me. I'm going to check and make sure that the frets are all level, but I'm not a guitar maker, so we're not going to mess with that at all. Right now I'm working on the routings for this black hardware that I picked up. I just, again, remember this guitar started out as a strat, and I went for more of a Toronado shape, and opted for the black hardware from a Telecaster. So we're doing a lot of things to change things up, but still trying to keep it as cheap as possible. All of the black hardware is from Music Lily, including a pretty cool little rail style humbucker here. And the only issue with that is that I'll have to do something different with that mounting hole, because it's made for Telecaster style pickup, and I'm using just that single style that would more fit into a Strat. So I'm going to do a little modification there, but it's coming along and turning out pretty nice if I do so myself. And once I get everything installed, I'll take it all back out again and then do some finishing sanding, some paint, and some varnishing. So that's coming up soon. Okay, so here we are. It's finally done. I got everything together. What I've done is I put the strings on that came with the solo kit. Everything else is kind of the way that I upgraded. Now, I didn't get an acoustic pickup in it like I thought I would, and I really want to do that, so I'll probably do that in the future. A few things that I would do differently. The sound hole's a little bit too big, so I would make that smaller. The back of the guitar, actually the guitar ended up too thin, and so I had to make a little cover for the switch there. There's a few things like that that I would do really different, but this was a great place to start, and I would highly recommend the solo kit. Remember, this started out as a Stratocaster, and I went for more of the shape of the Toronado, and anyways, this is the way that it turned out. Here it is clean. And then if you add a little bit of fuzz in there, here's what you get. Anyway, so that's it. Let me turn that off. I'm getting a little bit of buzzing, so probably a ground issue there. So I'll trace that out and try to figure it out and get it all cleaned up. But that's it for my cheap little build. I've got less than $200 into this guitar. So all in all, pretty happy with the outcome.